Here's where the bad part comes in, the things I didn't like, the cons of this whole thing. I like to start out with things that are hopeful. And then I'm going to go into the things that I did not like. And let me tell you, there is quite a bit, and I'm a bit pissed off too. So, the cons. It was a terrible freaking idea to forget about the Teen Wolf of Teen Wolf, only to focus on the secondary characters of the show, i.e. Stiles and Lydia. I get it, okay, you know what? Stiles is a fan favorite, yeah, whatever. I get it, there's a lot of fans out there who want Stiles and Lydia together, and you got it. But I think the writers made the biggest mistake doing that. I think that personally they should have figured some other thing out, gone a different way, but it pisses me off, and it does piss me off that Scott is always forgotten. And these writers and Jeff Davis can go on saying, yeah, well, this season was about Scott trying to remember his best friend and put back together his pack. All the same crap that we keep hearing season after season, when in reality, Scott is not the main focus of this show. Why the hell have a show that's called Teen Wolf if you don't focus on the Teen Wolf? I don't get that. And all this season did, and Jeff Davis admitted this season was about Stiles and Lydia. It wasn't about Scott. Why call it Teen Wolf if it's not going to be about Scott? That pisses me off extremely. And you know what? I think that we as fans deserve a little better than that if they're going to be having like Scott, who's just phenomenally one of the greatest characters, and they go and just screw over his character to fan service Stiles. Okay, you know, I love Stiles, and don't get me wrong, I think he's a great character, but he's not the main character of the show. Why don't you just call it Stiles? Don't call it Teen Wolf, because it's not about Scott. Stiles isn't a Teen Wolf, Scott is, and they kind of just forgot about him. And yeah, people can argue it, but it's true, Scott is forgotten, and he's mistreated on this show, and I don't like that. So another thing, destroying character development. I said in my pros, there was great character development for some. There was horrible development and destroying characters for Lydia and Stiles. Okay, I want to be honest here. I don't really care for Lydia that much. I mean, from the beginning of the show, whatever, she may have been useful, may have not. I think overall she's a character that could have come and gone. I don't care for her. And I think that this last season 5, okay, I was establishing like something that I kind of liked Lydia, and I was still like, you know what, maybe there's something more to her, she can do more, she could help the pack. This half season just screwed that all up and destroyed her as a character. It really disturbs me, like how bad they just centered her whole storyline on Stiles this half season. Okay, so not only does she not really make a difference this season, her whole storyline just focuses on the man, and I feel like maybe that's all that she's good for in the show. I mean, for seasons, her storyline just revolved around Jackson. After that, it was Aiden. After that, it was Parrish, and now it's Stiles. So when is Lydia gonna ever be on her own? When is Lydia gonna ever step up as a character without the need of assistance from another male character to aid in her development? I think the writers really need to figure their crap out with Lydia, because, you know, they're just kind of making that character pretty useless, I feel. So what else was messed up about Lydia? Well, she knows full well that she was able to use her Banshee Scream to fight things, right? She did it last season. She obviously did it in this season. I mean, she used her Banshee Scream to save herself. She used it to save Stiles in this last episode. But why didn't she use that to fight the Ghost Riders all other 9 episodes for the whole supposedly 3 months that, you know, they were fighting these Ghost Riders? She didn't use it. I mean, it's not like they weren't fighting up against Ghost Riders, because obviously they were. You know, but where was Lydia? She was somewhere else in her room dreaming or hearing trains, and She was at the sheriff's house peeling wallpaper, but where was she when they needed help? Nowhere. Selfishly does not want, Malia and Malia and Scott to remember Stiles when they're going into that tank, that freezing tank, whatever, to help regenerate memories or whatever. Yeah, Scott goes in, whatever, okay, but when he comes out and Malia wants to go in, you could clearly see Lydia gives like this ugly, malicious, jealous look at Malia when Malia offers to go in. And yeah, Malia goes in. And don't argue this, because when Malia was remembering Stiles, what was she doing? She was opening up a portal, and you can't tell me she didn't, because where was all that thundering and rumbling going on if it wasn't for the fact that she was getting somewhere, that she was opening up the portal? So Malia was gonna do it, yet they pulled her out, right? Okay, well, when they did so, Lydia all of a sudden remembered, you know what, I'm not going in there, but let's do some hypnosis on myself. I don't have to go in there. And of course she remembers him or does whatever. For whatever reason, all of a sudden, like this forced relationship and a crazy old thing happens, and okay, Lydia's in love with Stiles, and all of a sudden that opens up the rift. That's a bunch of BS. The writers know it. We all know it. Why did they do that? Why does she remember Stiles? Why is she in love with Stiles? Well, all the writers and Jeff Davis himself says it was the last season, and that's what they felt like, that's a storyline they didn't do yet. So let's just throw Lydia and Stiles in, and let's just do that or whatever. Last season, throw it in. Who cares? That's what they did, and don't think that, this was some lovely romance that was budding from the beginning of the show, because it wasn't. Just thrown in just because. What else? Well, let's not forget, Lydia, supposedly her best friend is Malia. Wow, I think it's pretty evident of the fact that Malia was in love with Stiles, that's her human anchor, that's somebody that she would never leave behind, and supposedly he wouldn't do that for her. So what, does she just not care about her best friend's feelings? Is it just, selfish Lydia time and let her be happy, whatever, and screw her rest of her friends? Because that's a pretty messed up thing to do. Overall, I think Lydia's character was just totally annihilated in this half season. But where does that leave Stiles? Okay, now I said his story was destroyed as well, and I mean it. Okay? So let me get this straight. So Stiles claimed to supposedly have had a crush on Lydia throughout high school, right? Including freshman, sophomore, and junior years, right? Well, who was he with during junior year, if not Malia? Okay, I'm sorry, did I just imagine that happening? Did I imagine like 3 seasons worth of this relationship? Did I just dream that, or did that not exist? Because junior year and senior year, he was with Malia. So what, was he not in love with her? Was he lying? Was he just using her as someone to just pass the time because he couldn't be with Lydia because she was with every other guy in Beacon Hills at that time? Or, I don't know, arguably we could say he was very much in love with her. Even Will Wallace, one of the writers of Teen Wolf, says that he believed that Stiles was in love with Malia. So what happened to that? Yeah, I get the writers are fan servicing the crap out of this, and they're gonna milk it for whatever they can to get all of those Stiles and Lydia fans who darted off and bring them back in just for this false hope. But where does that leave this character of Stiles? Basically, I don't understand. Even in the beginning of 5A, Stiles was planning a future with Scott and with Malia. There was no plan with Lydia. There was no, we're going to do this and Lydia is going to be my love. That wasn't even a part of the plan. So I don't know where these writers just forget the story that they themselves wrote and just let me toss that out and I'm going to start and do whatever I want now. Really, Styles literally ignored the fact, or the writers ignored the fact that Styles and Malia were each other's first loves, both like emotionally and romantically, and they just kind of threw that whole love story out the window. I was like, you know what, screw that, we're just gonna fan service, screw up our last season, and we're just gonna give the fans whatever they want because, you know, we're getting paid for this last half season. Either way, screw it, we'll just jack it up and not put effort into it. That's basically what I'm feeling with this whole love with Styles and Lydia that people are supposedly have seen all along. I didn't see it all along. I seen Lydia with every other guy. I seen Styles in love with you know, Malia. I even seen him have a connection with Cora Hale. Nope, never seen like him and Lydia being in love. I seen him have a crush on Lydia in the first season, but that quickly faded, and Styles was perfectly happy with whoever else, and Lydia was with everybody else. So I don't understand where this budding romance just somehow blossomed into the biggest thing that the show could ever produce. So what else? Styles obviously went from like a hero slash anchor to basically, you know, like a scumbag jerk. Because not only did he just use Malia, you know, he didn't care about her feelings, whatever. He just liked Lydia, and it doesn't matter. So that's what the story's about. And, you know, Styles and Lydia. Forget Teen Wolf. That's what this whole show has become. Really, really, really disappointed. Really disappointed. When Styles or whatever, when this whole like reality was like warped and Mr. Douglas bridged the gaps between them, and like the Ghost Riders and all these things were happening and everybody was going all over the place, there was many reunions, alright? Scott got his reunion with Styles, obviously Lydia did, and Liam got his reunion with Styles, but what about Malia? Did I just imagine again that this whole half season she was going out of her way trying to remember Styles, and once she accepted the fact that there is a Styles, you know, she was doing everything she can to find him. Arguing with Peter, saying that he was her anchor and that she wouldn't leave him behind. Well, where the hell's that reunion? Because I didn't see it. They didn't even have one conversation together, no word together. Nothing. They could have written in like a friendship. It doesn't have to be romantic at all. We get that's over. But it could have been like, you know, like their best friends, or like, hey, thank you for moving heaven and earth just so that you could bring me back from another warped reality so that I could live, kind of deal. We didn't get that, but whatever, because again, it was only Lydia who saved Styles. So let's forget that everybody else put an effort to do it, because it was only Lydia. And what about Scott and his mom? We didn't get no reunion with them. We get that sad scene where Scott's all upset trying to call his mom, and he's getting a voicemail or whatever, upset that the fact that the Ghost Riders took her and like every crap is happening. Where is that reunion with mother and son? I mean, yeah, she's an important character. I would assume that the Teen Wolf of Teen Wolf would have gotten a reunion with his mother, but forgive me for expecting or wanting too much from this show that they couldn't even do that. What about the fact that Malia didn't get to graduate with the rest of them? I mean, I find it really stupid that Styles, okay, would disappear for 3 months, wasn't in school, Malia was, yet Styles gets to graduate, but Malia has to go to summer school? That's stupid. Let's be real, that is one of the stupidest things that they could have done. It's small, it's minor, but it's impactful and it's stupid. Because not only are they removing her character from its important spot within the pack, they're still separating her. They're still pushing her to the side and saying, you know what? No, let's just make Lydia and Scott and Styles let's let them graduate and screw this one. She's not a part of the pack or whatever, even though she's dang near died many times saving them and doing everything she can to save them. I mean, no, let's just throw her to the side, because yeah, Lydia is better character and Styles is more important. Let's forget about them. I think that's a really screwed up thing to do. So one of the bigger things that pissed me off this season was, where was Kira? Because clearly these writers who are so smart, I mean, you would think that they would like remember Kira. I mean, you know, they sent her off this last season, and you know, kind of giving you hopes that maybe she might return. Yeah, we found out she didn't, but why? Okay, they have a whole season focused on these villains that are supposedly riding the lightning strikes or whatever. It's all about electricity and how can they contain it, how can they focus that energy. I mean, for freaking crying out loud, they used Kira's sword. Okay, they brought back Theo with it. Why wasn't she there? Why wasn't she allowed to use her sword? Why wasn't she a focal point of this season? No, because apparently Scott can't have a love interest anymore because, oh, let's just give it all to Stiles and Lydia. That's what this whole thing turned into. I mean, it's stupid that they would not put Kira in there. I mean, if it's about lightning, who controls lightning? The Kitsune. So whatever, I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, let's just use her sword and forget about Kira, whatever. She don't make a difference to these writers, whatever. All I have to say is Will Wallace, again, one of the writers of Teen Wolf, created one of the best characters with Kira. You know, she was great. So kudos to him. I mean, get a thumbs up for me. These other writers got it all screwed up. They really did. So overall, I think, you know, there was a lot of things that I disliked about the show, and there was a lot of things I did like. But because of those things that I disliked, this show could have easily been like a 9 or something like that. Like, I think season 3 is a 10 out of 10. A perfect show, a perfect season. Season 4 was freaking great. 10 out of 10, even like an 11 out of 10. Season 5, somehow, I don't know what the hell they were thinking, these writers, but they went from like such a great season as season 4 to just a downward slope, and they just went from up here and whoop, went down, and they just kind of left everything as is, and we as viewers were just like, well, what's happening? Why is the show crumbling and falling apart? Well, no kidding. I mean, yeah, your show's probably getting canceled because you can't freaking keep it together. You know, 5A was relatively great, but too much villains. Everything was just crowding in. They couldn't figure their stuff out. And what happened? Well, they're on their last season. Why? Because you probably were canceled because you're overloading everything and you're just like fan servicing the crap out of everything and not staying true to what the show was. Yeah, I'm saying that. I mean, so I would say, like, if I were to have to rate season by season from 1 to 10, season 1 was like a 10. Season 2 like a 9. Season 3 was a 10. Season 4 a 10. Season 5 arguably went down to 8. Season 6A a 6.5. Really, the writers have to get it together. Now, I like to say as objective as I can. I like to give like certain characters and everybody like enough attention, and I like to really analyze their characters. But dang it, they really screwed it up with this half season. They really did. They annihilated Stiles and Lydia's character. They really just destroyed it, especially Lydia. From building her story up last season, you would have expected her to do such great things this season. Instead, she turned into like a selfish snake and didn't want to help her friends, only to focus on a guy she ignored the entire series to supposedly love. And all of a sudden, like, yeah, this is what the show has become about Stiles and Lydia. Really disappointing. So I just question, like, are we supposed to forget like the 6+ years that we've built up for a satisfactory ending, you know, for this show? Are we? I mean, like, I feel like we as viewers are insulted. I feel like our intelligence has been insulted. I mean, just to change and corrupt character development so dramatically and drastically, I mean, and to also demean important characters like Scott, like Malia, like Parrish. You know, these three characters, and you can even go online, there's thousands and tons of people that are saying the same thing I am. Why are these three characters so pushed aside and treated like trash? I don't get it. I really don't get it. What else? I mean, like, you know, this is all just to feel like a plot line that was last minute and rushed for a fan service relationship for Stiles and Lydia. That's what this half season was. You know, as of now, I feel really let down with this show. You know, and I think many of us fans feel this way. I swear, I go online, I go on Tumblr, I go on Instagram, Twitter. So many people are feeling the same way. So obviously these writers are doing something wrong. I don't know, like I felt like we needed more from the half season. I felt like they just left us like kind of whatever. So I'm very disappointed with it. Well, thank you guys for hearing my rant. If you watched this whole thing, thank you. If you like what I had to say, you didn't, you know, let's hear about this in the comments. So please leave a comment in the comment section, of course. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you would, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And hopefully I'll be putting out more videos. I really have a lot of ideas for other videos, and hopefully I'll put those up soon. Aside from that, I'll see you guys later, and be safe and be well. Bye.